Hey everyone! We have a little teeny tiny bit of news for you. This tiny to be specific. So we have a baby now. She's 2 weeks old now. 2 whole weeks on this planet. We are mama and mommy. Her name is Cleo. Cleo Brilliant. What a cute name. We have shared some photos, but we're gonna avoid sharing like her actual face for different reasons. Because yeah, the internet is a weird place. We're also gonna tell you, well, I'm gonna tell you in every little detail. She loves to tell this story. What the birth was like, because wow, it was a ride. Things aren't really going according to plan, but we're adjusting. It seems like the induction is working. We're almost there, babe. It's okay. Don't mind me, just casually pushed a human out of my body. It felt really like you had to take like a massive poo. We came from like, oh, so sad we can't do it at the birth center, to like, let's hope our baby's not gonna fucking die. Miso's a big sister now, right, Miso? First of all, how do you feel being a mother? It still is like sinking in, I think. Like it still doesn't feel like I am, you know? How about you? How about me? Oh yeah, no, I forgot. Anyway, let's tell you the crazy story of how our daughter came into this world. You might have remembered Alexis wanted to do a natural birth at a birth center. Did that happen? No, it did not happen. Not a single thing went to plan. I think only one thing, which was Lilian cutting the cord, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So everything had always been looking really good during her checkups and everything, right? No risks of anything. Yeah. Due date comes. Due date! Bump is still bumping. Very bumping. And then we had to do our checkup. This freaking doctor says that there is pretty much no amniotic fluid left, which is like the water that gives her like everything that she needs. As we left, I was like, hold on, that doesn't really sit right with me. The fact that this baby doesn't have any amniotic fluid left. It just seemed weird, right? Yeah. We were like, this just doesn't add up. But then I looked more into it, and then everything I find online is like, no, this would need to be like right away. It's an emergency. So we called the hospital that we registered at and got an appointment for the next day. And the gynecologist there, she was like, yeah, it is really low. And yeah, I do think you need to get induced. Let's just monitor the baby's heart rate, go home, come back at 4:30. So I'm just like sitting there trying to like process this and be like, wow, okay, so I'm gonna have this baby either today or tomorrow, and I have to do it through induction. We go downstairs to the room where we do the scan. Things aren't really going according to plan, but we're adjusting. They suggested induction, and now I'm here. I was planning on doing like a full natural birth in a birth house, and yeah, trying to like process that, because this was like the last thing I wanted to do. So yeah, I guess you never really know, right? You're being so strong and brave about it. And then this woman like pulls me into another room. She said, okay, so take a deep breath, and if someone tells you to take a fucking deep breath, what's that gonna do? Are you calm? And I'm like, I'm not fucking calm. Like my hands were freaking like shaking. And she's like, so the vital signs of the baby went down. We need to keep monitoring because it's not stable and you won't be going home before the induction. We need to basically induce as soon as possible. Suddenly we came from like, oh, so sad we can't do it at the birth center, to like, let's hope our baby's not gonna fucking die. Our baby's heart rate dipped at the same time as the other couple. Uh-oh. Baby calling. The induction started. It could work sometime within the next like 24 hours. If it doesn't work by tomorrow, then they're gonna need to do it again. Oh, it's just been like a lot. But Alexis is doing so well. Like she's like being so strong and brave about this. I'm really proud of her. So I'm gonna go home, and visitor hours start at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so we'll be here bright and early. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you so much. You're so strong. And we'll see our baby soon. Okay, bye, cutie. Here's a little baby. Baby Cleo. I'm in my Uber on the way home, and Alexis sends me a text. There's blood coming out, and my heart just started like racing.
I felt like my heart did like a flutter. It was like, and I was like, that was really weird. It felt like something was like starting.
Back in the hospital, things are happening here. Seems like the induction is working. Oh, poor baby.
But yeah, at this point we were trying to figure out like, was it contractions or was this just like the beginning of this tampon induction?
So we figured out that it was contractions, and they were going for 40 seconds every 2.5 minutes. First we were trying to like, oh, let's take a shower and do like these methods that we had planned for. Also walking and stuff, no, she was just like laying or like, and then I'm like, okay, we need to go down because like this is suffering now, and I want her to get some of those nice pain meds that we have here. We're almost there, babe, it's okay. She was 2 centimeters dilated, which isn't a lot, but at least it means it's working. The freaking midwife that's on duty, she was way too chill. You know what she says? She says, I think her pain is fine right now. In half an hour we can talk about putting on the ibuprofen drip. Lady, she has been induced, and if I had known that induction means that everything's more intense and more painful, then I would have been like, lady, get the epidural going. I feel like the only thing that I was like doing that could sometimes help was still like coaching you through your breathing. I was like, breathe, because you know how you're supposed to like exhale for longer.
I'm pretty good at like mind over matter and like coaching myself in that way, but for this I was like hyperventilating, but like with my inhales and exhales, like
yeah, that's what she was doing. And I was like, I remember it needs to be longer, and then she's like, you don't know what you're talking about, like you don't know what this is like. I'm like, yeah, true. All these people came into the room. I saw the CTG, the vital signs of the baby dropped. And I was like, fucking hell, they're gonna do a fucking emergency C-section.
Honestly, during this moment, the contractions were like so intense that I was just like ready for a C-section. If that's gonna stop this pain, then like, I'm fine with it. She was like, take deep belly breaths. So I was like, okay. And then she's like, oh, everything's good. The baby's heart rate's going back up. That was like the only thing that I really remember from that moment.
It was probably contracting too much, and that's when they pulled the tampon out. Because I did read, if you have a low amniotic fluid, there's like less of a cushion during contractions, and it can also like kind of like clamp or clip the umbilical cord, which is a very dangerous, so you need to constantly be monitoring. So we opened the window for Alexis. She went like to the bathroom or something. I heard screaming, okay, and I turned to the midwife. I'm like, is that like a newborn screaming? And she's like, no, that's a woman giving birth. I've never heard screaming like that, and I was legit like traumatized for half an hour. And in my head I was like, I must do everything in my power to protect Alexis from this. I cannot hear her screaming like that. So I was like, Alexis, how do you feel about an epidural right fucking now?
Any question that anyone was like asking me, I was like, I don't know. Like I don't even have thoughts in my brain.
I know, and I was like, this suffering is unnecessary. Let's just like turn it off.
And the next one was laughing gas. They brought it in, and I like literally didn't take the thing off my face. I was just like, a thing that was really interesting was like, I didn't realize like how much my body would be shaking, like crazy shaking though. Like my hands were like, it was nice to kind of distract me a little bit, but I was like, let's get the epidural going.
Her contractions were like 1.5 minutes long, and she had only 10 seconds in between. So we could not speak. I didn't even know anymore like when the contraction was over. And then the people with the epidural come in, okay?
Flicks on the fluorescent lights.
So you need to like sit and like curve your back over, and
so your spine is like sticking out.
They put it into your spine, which is very risky, right? And already when they put Alexis like IV thing on, her veins are apparently so like small or something. It took like 5 people to get it in, and so much poking. And the same thing happened with this freaking epidural. So they're like going in and like, no, that's not right, have to take it out again. It took half an hour. The nurse had to stand up and like push Alexis down
like this.
I was crying at this point because I was like, this is so horrible. They had to give her something to like slow the contractions down, because otherwise
I couldn't like sit still. Like
she was like so basically not responsive anymore.
I could feel nerves getting pinched in like really weird spots of my body, like different parts of my back, or like in like my hip, or like my butt cheek, or my lower leg. And I was like, this is so weird.
And she was like, this feels weird. And I was like, I know, but you need to really sit still now, okay?
When you're going through this, it's like I said, I was down for a C-section. It's like you just don't care. It's like the only thing you care about is like getting rid of the pain.
And you know what? I feel like women don't really talk about this much, but apparently what I learned from labor is that it's all about the freaking butthole.
Yeah, I had like a lot of like contractions like in my butt. And I was like, oh, it was just like so, you know, does anyone ever get like that sharp pain in your butthole sometimes? Yeah, like that, it kept like happening like that for like a long time.
But so is that what a contraction is? Like,
no, I don't think so.
Like a sharp pain in your ass?
But then it would like wrap around, it would be like aching in my lower back and my butthole, and then also come around and be like in the front.
Oh, sounds fucking awful, honestly. Half an hour later, this epidural finally kicks in. She still feels the contractions, but much less. And then the midwife is like, okay, I'm gonna turn off the lights now. It was like 4:30 a.m. or something by that point, and you can take a little nap.
I almost had like tears in my eyes because of like how happy I was.
She could talk again.
Yeah, I was like talking and laughing and texting.
The midwife was really nice because she pushed in like the other bed so that we could both lay down. It was dark, and that was like one of my favorite moments, and I captured it. Then around like 6 or something like that, or 5:30, the midwife came in again,
checked me, and was like, oh, look at that, you're 10 centimeters dilated.
What a crazy experience, and she is fully dilated now. She needs to be a bit lower before Alexis can push, and then it's time to bring it to the world. May 4th, folks.
May the 4th be with you.
It's just like freaking crazy. You are so strong.
Thanks,
and I can't believe you're fully dilated.
Oh, can't wait to meet you.
I know. It was like daylight again, and they said, okay, so with every contraction you feel, you need to push really hard, like from your lower like stomach.
Well, like you're taking a poop. Pushing was like a lot of pressure. It felt really like you had to take like a massive poo. You can feel it, and you feel like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to push this one out. Like it's too big. Like that's like what it feels like.
And it actually went freaking quick. I look over and I'm like, oh my god, what do I see between her vagina? Freaking human hair.
This hair.
Yes, Alexis, I see the head. She has brown hair. And then the midwife took her hand and like put it to feel the head. And then Alexis said, oh my god, it feels so squishy, like Play-Doh.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, oh, that's my baby's head?
It's still kind of soft.
Oh, it is.
Don't touch it. She has a Play-Doh head. So I was crying because she was freaking in intense pain, and because it was the freaking head of this baby and she was gonna come, you know? So it was just like so many emotions at once.
And it was kind of like the feeling of like intense pressure, like building. And it's like you can kind of feel like you're like down there, like pulling like more and more apart. And then it's like, then the head kind of goes like goes through, and it's like, oh, it's like relief.
Yeah.
Because then it's like just the neck.
And then it was like the last push basically. It was like, okay, just
one more push. And I was like, one more? Damn.
And then the baby came out.
Oh my god. I can't believe I just did that. You did that. I can't believe it's real. You did that. It's real. Oh my god.
I know that they don't come out looking pretty, but this one was very purple, which apparently is normal. And then they put her on Alexis' chest, and I saw the moment her eyes opened. And I was like,
she opened her eyes and like looked like at both of us.
That was, wasn't it?
But then they were like rubbing her, and I could tell that something wasn't right.
When she first came out, she did like a little cry, like a little like, but then she didn't do like another cry. So they're rubbing her. She has all this like fluid coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, I was looking right at her, and anytime that she tried to like say something,
Breathe.
there was like,
say something. Hello, everyone.
Every time she tried to breathe, there was just like brown slime coming out of her mouth.
The midwife was like, all right, we're gonna give her like a minute, then we're gonna have to send her to the pediatrician.
Well, no, she said the pediatrician was on her way already.
Who wants to cut the cord? We want to do...
Where do I cut? Here between the two?
Close to this, the first one. Other way around, the scissors, please. Yeah, alright.
Up again? One more time.
Perfect. Statistically speaking, this is a good minute. They need 1 minute of transfer.
And they took her away from us. But basically they said that she couldn't breathe properly, so she needed like a little bit of help to get started, but it wasn't like super serious. And Alexis had to push out the freaking placenta, which wouldn't come. You have 1 hour after birth to push out the placenta. And if it doesn't come out after an hour, you have to go under general anesthesia, and the doctor has to freaking scrape it out of you with their hand. And friends, we were at 1 hour past and the fucking placenta still wasn't out. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Tried everything, even freaking acupuncture, a bottle pushing, anything. The doctor was already in the room, and then they got her to squat, blow into the bottle, and then they pulled like really hard on the fucking umbilical cord. Friends, what I saw, you know, like The Shining? Like the elevator opens and like all this blood comes out. Like it was like a freaking like shower of blood came out. And then this freaking placenta drops. And I'm like,
it just felt like just my organs falling out. I was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, is everything okay down there?
And you know how some people like honor the placenta and they like eat it or like they bury it or something? I was so fucking mad at that placenta. I was like, take her away. Apparently the placenta was my genetics, so I apologize. And then after that, what happened? She needed to get stitched. Because friends, she did tear. 2 tears.
I guess my perineal massages worked because my perineal didn't even tear. Other parts tore.
And then when they stitched her up, she was like, how long is it gonna take? I think maybe like 3 minutes or something, right? The doctor says maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes of getting stitched up in your freaking private parts, fully conscious. I was like, this has got to be some sort of hell. They did it with these fish hooks.
My God.
And they got me to like take a photo of the tears for her to like calm her down. I'm like, I don't think this is calming anyone down right
like
now.
Looking at the image, I'm like, a lot of blood.
Oh, it's so horrible. And I was like, this is enough now. Why do women need to do it?
Yeah.
Anyway, and then she was done, and then we could see the baby. Let's go to the pediatrics or the NICU. So romantic, and take a look at our daughter. And she was in a freaking incubator.
Here on the arm, and then we have heartbeat, heart rate over the yellow, blue, and yellow.
I had all this shit on her, all these cables, all these beeping signs. We had to wait for half an hour for someone to like get her out. It was honestly really rough. And then she had like this thing to like help her breathing. So it was pretty tough, but then we had some beautiful moments. Damn. 2 slices of Mischbrot and 2 times butter. Now, if that's not a great meal, then I don't know.
We're finally being released from the hospital. And I can't wait for Miso to meet her sister.
Thankfully, she was released the next morning. They said she can breathe by herself now. The most important thing is that she's healthy and well now and clearly angel-like. Like, what the hell? Hasn't even said a single sound. Aww. And yeah, her name is Cleo and we love her very much.
Yeah, it was quite a ride, but I'm
Look at the little hand.
happy that she's here.
Show her little hand.
Oh, girl. It's
Sick.
okay. Oh, she's giving me such a grumpy face. She's like,
Okay, we will leave her alone now. That was the birth. We're here. We're parents.
We're still queer.
Survived. Alexis was like joking and like completely fine, and I was like, I need to talk to someone about this birth experience. If I have to do pregnancy and birth,
epidural right away, baby.
no, scheduled C-section. I'm not gonna go through all of that shit. Men, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, that's just like what a woman's body does or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay. But it's like another woman can like imagine.
That's
it,
not
you know?
what the body does, trust me. Like, you think fish hooks is fucking normal? Like, imagine you tell a man, like, oh, like, your balls are gonna rip. Like, they would never do it. Sorry, Cleo. Gotta change diapers. It's a mix of mine. Cheers.